Hey everybody, it's Kevin Ozzy, and we're back for the new story, Friend Worm. And so here is the end result of the illustration that I started, and I'm just going to show it to you here. This is a young gnome boy, and we'll talk about him in the story. But this is kind of a close-up view. A little bit different this time. For this one, I'm just going to go ahead and leave the picture up while I read the story so you can enjoy the picture. And so let me scroll back a little bit so you can see the whole thing. And I'll have to move it around a little bit. Here we go. All right, so here is the final uh, picture of the gnome and the city of Shezbots. And here's the road, and here is a great waterway, or possibly a lake, that is beside the city. So without further ado, let's get started and see how far we can get on Friend Worm. Friend Worm by Kevin Ozzy, a prologue. Rumpelstein was around 12 years old in human years. The Snizzer, the deep gnomes, aged like humans, growing to full size by age 18 to 20, but they lived into the thousands of years, much longer than their close relatives, the dwarves. He lived in the city of Shezbots with his mom and dad. Zimpel was his father. He was a shoe cobbler and a leather worker. His mother's name was Shetzel, and she was a housewife who took care of the house and made sure all of the chores were done. Shezbots was the largest Snizzer city in the Dark Deep. People came from all over Eros to view the gnomish engineering and experience their technology. There were electric lights, cold and warm running water, and almost every house had a geothermal furnace for heat. There were even lights that simulated daylight for growing orchards and gardens. The city was carved and shaped from stone. Gnomish architecture was sturdy and well crafted. It was only here that others could get a sense of the power of the Deep Gnome Society. And that's the end of the prologue, and I'll go ahead and start Chapter 1. Chapter 1, At Home. Rumpelstein. Oh, I have to do it in her voice. Rumpelstein, what are your plans today? Mummy yelled from downstairs. I'm going to the mushroom forest to search the rocks for special metals for my fireworks, Mummy, he yelled back. Rumpel, I hope you are careful. You know the forest is sporing. Please be careful, dear. Okay, then. He gave her a quick hug and slung the backpack over his shoulder. He ran onto the sidewalk and down the road. They lived in a very nice three-story townhouse. It was Petzel time, the holiday celebrating Yetzelwa. The streets were decorated in colorful lights. Street lamps and buildings were strung with silver and gold streamers. The decorations stretched throughout all of Shezbots. It was a time of gift-making and giving. They celebrated Yetzelwa, the deity of light and goodness. The prophecy tells that one day Yetzelwa will return to Aerth and fortune would shine on all who perform acts of kindness and giving. Rumpelstein's idea was to make fireworks to shoot off for all to see on Petzeltine Eve. He and his friends had made this their ritual for the last 4 years, on the night before giving. That's the end of chapter 1. And so I'm going to go ahead and read chapter 2 now. Chapter 2, My Friends Left Me. Rumpelstiltskin walked on the sidewalk leading out of town. Wish Timmick and Zumbi were here instead of in Culhane. Culhane was the country above. His two friends and their families moved together to the country of Culhane. As a result, Rumpelstiltskin, or Rumpel as people called him, was left without his two best friends. It was lonely. And they used to do everything together. One of their favorite things was to make the fireworks every year during Petzeltine. They would challenge each other to see who could make the best fireworks. The basic firework was an explosive wrapped in paper. It was made from powders and tablets containing sulfur, charcoal, and potassium nitrate. To make things more interesting required special metals, minerals, and other components. It's true, these things were dangerous, but the boys took great care in their work. Rumpel's uncle, Sherman, taught the boys how to create the fireworks. He also showed them where to find the materials. He was a demolitionist, and a foreman at the nearby mine. He was well known in Shesbots. Fireworks weren't the only thing they did. The boys also created inventions and did science experiments. Among their many contraptions were the flying teacup, the wind-up spinner, a water current electric-powered light bulb, and the exploding parachute musket. They were top-scoring students at the public school, but other kids liked to bully them because they were different. The three boys always stood up for each other. Rumpel was now by himself. Some popular kids would make fun of him. They called him things like Rumpel Nerd, Geek Fart, even Poophead. He was smaller than the others in his class, and they would clobber him when the adults weren't around. He missed his friends, and things would never be the same. That's the end of chapter 2, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and stop here today, and then I'm going to come back and see how far we get on the next one. The next chapter is chapter 3, Mushroom Forest. And so thanks for listening, and we'll be back here in a day or so. And I'm going to leave a link to the website where you can look at all of the illustrations and read the stories that I'm posting up on YouTube. And it's called The Kevin Ozzy Show. And that's going to be my blog. So, hey, everybody, you have a great day and a great night. And we'll see you soon. Thanks. Kevin Ozzy signing out.